Okay, hello everybody, Charlie here from Sterling Power. I just thought I'd do a video on the troubleshooting of the Saturn range of battery-to-battery chargers. Now, we do a big range of these units. You'll have seen them, big, medium, small. This is our baby 1225. We also do a really big 200 amp model of these. So the troubleshooting that I'm going to be doing on this little one should be identical to all of the derivatives of this family of product. Okay. So, first thing, have the DC-DC charger or the B2B, the Saturn B2B installed in situ in the vehicle or the boat, wherever you've got it. Just keep it installed and have your engine running. Now, with your engine running, the first thing I want you to do is get yourself a voltmeter, positive and negative probes of the voltmeter, and just put them across the far left and the common central. So the two middle connectors on the B2B are the common negative connector, so it doesn't really matter which one you put it on, but it does matter which one you put the positive probe on. So put the positive probe on here, and then the common negative somewhere in the middle. Now, you should be getting over 12 volts on that terminal. If you're getting 0 volts, you need to check the continuity between the input of the B2B and your starter battery or the input battery. So go and check the voltage across the starter battery or the input battery. And if you're getting 12, 13, 14 volts there, then you've just got a continuity problem between your start battery and the input to the B2B. Could be a fuse that's blown, could be loose connection, ring terminals fallen off, could just be it hasn't been wired up properly. So do check that wire between the start battery and the input to the DC-DC charger. So you need over 12 volts here, okay? Now, if you don't have a Euro 6 engine, i.e. you've just got an old boat or a vehicle that predates 2016, you should be getting 14 volts, realistically. Anything above 13 and a half up to maybe 15 on the input to this DC-DC charger, provided you've got a 12 volt model. Double the figures. If I mention 12 volts, just double them for 24, quadruple them for 48. Same, it's a linear thing. Just double the numbers, quadruple the numbers. So you should be getting 14 volts nominally on the input with the engine running. If it's lower and you've got a Euro 6 vehicle, which is from 2016 onwards, where you've got that whole regen braking, trying to keep the emissions down, you might be at 11 or 12 volts on the input, in which case you need to fit an ignition signal or a switchable 12 volts into the, I've got it tethered here, into the ignition connector. It's the second one in from the left, and it's called the ignition. So that needs to be switched. So when your engine's running or when your ignition's live, you're getting that signal feed into that connector that will tell the B2B to start charging. Now, also equally as important, we need to know what the voltage is on the output terminal of the battery-to-battery charger. Again, that should be at least battery voltage. So you should have at least 8 volts really on the output. But ideally you want charging voltage because the unit ought to be working, so it ought to be boosting up ultimately to somewhere in the 14 volt range. Really depends on what charge profile you've got it set to. But theoretically, you should be getting upwards of 13 and a half volts, 13 plus volts on the output, and that should demonstrate the DC-DC charger working. This charging status LED will be blinking if it's boosting, if it's in that first stage of charging. People call it bulk, fast charge, whatever you want to call it. It's that first stage where we try and hit the target absorption voltage. And then once it's hit the absorption voltage, it should plateau. Again, should be at about 14 volts on the output, and the current will then start to taper off. And then once you hit float voltage, that charging status LED will be on solid. So you'll know if it's blinking, it's in its fast charge, so there should be maximum current coming out of the DC-DC charger. In this circumstance, it should be about 24, 25 amps on the output. On the other models, it should be approximately what the rating of the B2B is on the output. If it goes solid, it should be in float, which means that the output voltage is drooped a little bit, and therefore the current will also probably drop down to 1 or 2 amps, possibly lower. It depends if there's any load on the output battery. But it's essentially the DC-DC charger assumes by that stage that your battery is full. Might not be, could be a settings issue, it could be a cable issue, but the B2B at least thinks that your leisure battery or your output battery is fully charged by this point. And the other thing is this vibration sense stud here. That's the thing that catches a lot of people out. Leave that in the off position, as in not on, off. The default is off, so you shouldn't really need to touch that. If you need this to be vibration activated, then by all means connect it, but it will override every other form of activation. So if you have it in vibration sense on, then all what will happen is it will be doing nothing until it receives some form of vibration, i.e. driving along, that kind of thing, should activate it. Yes, if you shake it, it'll also start working. But generally leave that off and just feed an ignition in there if you want that very binary on and off. So that's the main things. It's the vibration, it's the ignition, it's the voltages on the input, and it's the voltages on the output of the DC-DC charger. That will cover 90% of the typical troubleshooting issues we have with these DC-DC chargers. So it's usually something in this region that's not been done correctly. Do check all of those things. Failing that, could be the battery type. If you're getting 0 volts on the output and you're charging lithium batteries, you might want to put it in a lithium profile. What that will do is it will force the voltage out on the output rather than relying on seeing voltage. It will just, let's say it's 0 volts across here because your lithium batteries have switched off. We will force out 14 volts on the output that should wake the lithium batteries up. It should then begin charging, and it will also operate as a power supply. So it will also run your fridge directly off this DC-DC charger, because this little one gives you about 350 watts of power. So it should be able to deliver 12 volt juice anyway, but you do need to put this in lithium profile in order for that to work. Okay, so that's the main things with the DC-DC charger, with the Saturn range of B2Bs. So we'll just recap: voltage is in, voltage is out, vibration sense, make sure that's in the off position. And if you need it, I'd say 60–70% of installs, I would always recommend installing an ignition. It just allows the unit to operate with an ignition or an engine signal, and for it to then switch off when you kill the ignition. It's just a very binary and automatic way of getting this thing to operate. It just cuts through all of the nonsense. So it'll also allow it to drag a little bit more out of the input system. It'll allow it to work at a lower voltage, so you'll get better performance out of the B2B as well, particularly over a long journey or a long engine running episode. It's a much more sustainable way of operating the Saturn range of B2Bs. Now, it's fairly typical of any DC-DC charger. It would be a similar kind of troubleshooting, voltages in, voltages out. But that would be the best thing to try before giving us a phone. All right, thank you guys.